Okay, so friends, what happened today? What happened today, February 2nd, 2021, Immigration Day? I see that you guys are joining live, joining me now. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching the replay, perhaps on YouTube or McBean Immigration TV, to catch me live, you can do so on Instagram on Monday night and sporadically throughout the week on Facebook at McBean Law. I typically announce when I'm going to be live, so follow me on one of those social platforms so that you won't miss these videos. Now, this is a live session, so I'm going to go a little slower, so bear with me and watch this all the way until the end. I have a lot of good things to share with you guys tonight, and the purpose, what we're going to talk about in this one is the 3 executive orders that President Biden signed just this evening around immigration. Okay? And so we're going to talk about whether anything really happened today. Has things shifted today for the immigrant community? What was the big, bold move today with any of these 3 immigration executive actions? Okay, so we're going to talk about all of that, and then we're going to actually go into the orders, and we're going to specifically dive into the order on around legal immigration, okay, and improving the system. Those are the ones that, that's the executive order that we're really going to talk about. It's great to see you guys. I see that you're on watching. Thank you as you're joining. Just give me some hearts, say hello, and let us and start chatting. Just start chatting. We have a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. So today, President Biden signed 3 executive orders, and those executive orders are basically orders that tells his staff to do their jobs. Yes, I'm framing it that way. The orders are directives to his staff, largely, they're directives to his administration, his heads of agencies, and telling them, you guys need to come up with a plan about how to improve our system or about how this task force is going. Come up with a plan and then report out to me what that plan is. And so that's the overall thing that happened today, guys. Immigration was not shaken today by the move with respect to these executive orders. And quite frankly, I said to myself, why do we need an executive order to tell the staff what to do? But in any event, that's McBean's opinion. Let's get into what the president has in his executive orders. And we're also going to talk about what were not included in the executive orders. So the first, I'm going to share my screen with you and go into the first order. So there were 3. The first one, the executive order on the establishment of interagency task force on the reunification of families. And with respect to this executive order, this is the one that, for the most part, sets up a task force to reunite children with their parents, okay? It says here, by the authority vested in me as President of the United States, and let me go ahead and make this a little larger so that you guys can see this. We're not going to go through the entire thing, so not to worry. It says here, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the U.S., and in order to reunite children separated from their families at the U.S.-Mexico border, I hereby order that a task force be set up called the Interagency Task Force on the Reunification of Families. And in this executive order, it identifies who the members of this task force is. And of course, the purpose of this task force is to figure out how to connect the nearly 600 children who are still separated from their families. So this is the executive order number 1. Executive order number 2 is, give me a moment here, let me make this more readable for you guys. Okay, so executive order number 2 is about creating a framework that addresses migration. Okay, the causes of migration, to manage migration throughout North America and Central America, and to provide safe and orderly processing of asylum seekers at the U.S. border. And this executive order goes through various background issues about border processing issues involving folks who are seeking asylum. And again, this one largely directs his staff to create plans and plans that are consistent with the policies that they have as a new administration with respect to a fair and humane immigration system. And so this goes into some of the agreements that our government has with other Central American governments, and the fact that the Biden administration will be reviewing those agreements, and they're going to come up with recommendations for doing things differently to address the root causes of migration and from Central America. That's really the gist of this. That's the gist. And so I'm not going to dive into it. They didn't go, there were nothing major that happened with respect to how we're processing or will continue to process folks who are seeking asylum at our border. There was no major reversal of Trump policies. A lot of this, again, friends, is a review of what we're currently doing and coming up with strategies to do things differently. And then there's this discussion in this executive order about, the Central American Minors Program. We're going to they're reversing. Consider taking all appropriate actions to reverse a 2017 decision which rescinded a policy that President Obama had in place around how to treat Central American minors who were showing up at the border unaccompanied. So we're going back to that policy, the old way of doing things when President Obama was in office. So if you're interested, guys, in reading this particular one about border processing and even the first executive order that I mentioned, I'll put the link after this live session so you guys can go ahead and check those out for yourselves. But the executive order that I think many of you are most interested in is the one around legal immigration. Am I right? Am I right? If that's what you really want to hear about, give me some hearts, give me some likes. What was not in the mix is the revocation of the family immigration ban, which CBS News had reported out on, and then I also reported out on it. That a high official, and I named that person, and so did CBS, a high official in the Biden administration did say that the family immigration ban, as well as the ban on temporary work visa programs, that President Biden intends to revoke that one or rescind it, but they did not give a timeline. And that's missing from today's action. That was not part of this as well. So I do want you guys to know that right away, that they did not rescind that one. So let's get into the one about legal immigration, because I think that one is more relevant to a lot of you who are here in the United States tonight. So I'm going to pull up that one right now. Give me a second here. Okay, so here we go. So here we have executive order on restoring faith in our legal immigration systems and strengthening integration and inclusion efforts for new Americans. Guys, this is what happens when you have smart people back in the White House. They begin to use a whole lot of big words, right? Strengthening integration and inclusion efforts for new Americans. Okay, so what does this really say? What is this all about? Well, there are actually several major points to this one. This one focuses on a number of things. This is the one that mentions public charge and the naturalization improvement process. Okay, so we're going to get into that. But in a nutshell, the policies that this executive order focuses on are eliminating fear and barriers in our immigration system, improving processing and the delivery of immigration benefits. They're looking to make our immigration system more effective and efficient, and also creating new citizens and having them participate in democracy. So those are the overarching goals of this executive order. Now, the first major point with this executive order is that agencies will review all of the past orders and regulations and policies that President Trump put in place. They're going to review all of that to make sure to see whether any of those former policies and such are inconsistent with what the Biden administration wants to do. That's the first big thing that they're going to do here. The second thing is identify barriers to benefits and make recommendations to remove those barriers. So again, they're identifying the problem and making recommendations to improve the system. And that's just a very general thing. And it says right here, in conducting this review, the Secretary of State and the Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall identify barriers that impede access to immigration benefits and fair, identify barriers that impede access to immigration benefits and fair, efficient adjudications of these benefits, and make recommendations on how to remove these barriers. Okay? They're also going to identify any agency actions that fail to promote access to the legal immigration system. And they've given an example of one of those actions, and it's the fee schedule changes that was promoted last year by USCIS. Okay? And so within 90 days of this order, the agency heads have to give a plan to President Biden on how they will actually advance the new policies of this administration. So again, this is telling the agency heads what to do and that they need to come up with a plan and bring that plan back to the president for him to review. You're going to see this consistently throughout all of these executive orders. Okay. So a progress report needs to be given to the president within 180 days. Okay, so let's go down to the section on public charge. Okay, so section 4, immediate review of agency actions on public charge inadmissibility. It says the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and the heads of other relevant agencies shall review all agency actions related to implementation of the public charge ground of inadmissibility. They shall consider the effects and implications of public charge policies, and they need to consult with other agencies as they're doing this review. The review should consist of considering and evaluating the current effects of these agency actions and the implications of their continued implementation in light of the policy set forth. Essentially, what they're saying here, friends, is they need to do a review of the public charge rules and do that review by consulting other agencies to see how public charge is impacting other government agencies, and then come up with a plan, go back to the president with recommendations. Within 60 days, they need to have a plan that they present to the president that identify steps that their agencies intend to take that will that are consistent with the policy goals of this administration. This is very wordy, and I'm going to jump back on the screen. This is really wordy. And it's a lot of words that are basically saying they're going to look at public charge, and it's only a review. It is not anything beyond that. It's a review, and it's coming up with identifying problems that the agencies have right now with public charge, particularly with public health. Some people are afraid of going to the emergency room if they have flu-like symptoms. They may even have COVID, and they're afraid to access treatment and care because of public charge. So they're going to be looking at those types of issues that impact public health agencies. And those agencies are going to say, hey, people are afraid to come and get treatment or care, and it's spreading COVID, or there's some other problems we're having as a result of this public charge rule. And so once the Biden administration hears what these problems are, then it sounds to me like they're going to obviously roll it back. Now, why are they doing it this way? Why are they doing it this way? They're doing it this way, guys, because as you've been hearing me and perhaps others say, public charge went through the rulemaking process. It is not an overnight, it's not going to vanish overnight. And the reason for that, and so in order to begin the process of rolling public charge back, you have to have a reason to do so. You have to have the rationale, and that's what they're going to start doing. They're going to identify the problems so that they could build the rationale so that they could start the rulemaking, the process of rolling it back. And largely, a lot of what they're doing is precisely that strategy, rolling it back. But you can't roll it back unless you first say, oh, this is a problem, and you explain it in a very smart way, in which obviously the Biden administration, with smart people, they know how to make it sound smart, right? But they're identifying the problem first, and then which gives them that rationale for rolling it back. And for us out here who are trying to help people get a status, and for you out there trying to bring your family here, and for you trying to get status as well, it's frustrating. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear about all this behind the scenes agency work. But the Biden administration is, they have to deal with over 400 policies that the Trump administration had put in place around immigration. So it's a lot. But in any event, did they need an executive order to do that? No, they did not need to hype it up and get people's expectations so high, only for us to have this right in front of us. So let me keep going. Let's get into naturalization and what they're planning on doing around naturalization, because I thought it was interesting. They actually got very specific with naturalization. Section 5 of the executive order says it's called Improving the Naturalization Process. The Secretary of State, Homeland, and others within 90 days of this order shall develop a plan that describes what actions they're going to take to do what? To eliminate barriers that exist with the naturalization process, including conducting a comprehensive review of the process by looking at the N-400 application, fingerprinting, background and security checks, interviews, civics and English language tests, and the oath of allegiance. That's it. That's very specific. They're going to be looking at all of those steps. That's part of the naturalization process. And someone asked me last night on during my live session on Instagram whether I answered the question that was asked about whether the Biden administration is going to get rid of or go back to the old civics test. And it looks like they're going to be reviewing it. Right? They're going to be reviewing what the Trump administration has done recently by making the test slightly harder. And that's part of this review. They're also going to, guys, get this one, work on substantially reducing the current processing times for naturalization. Okay? Substantially reduce current naturalization processing times, make the naturalization process more accessible to all eligible individuals, including reducing the filing fee and going back to the fee waiver process. So that's great. They're also going to, the review will facilitate naturalization for eligible candidates born abroad and members of the military. review policies and practices regarding denaturalization. Okay, which is great because that was something that I hated. I talked about that a number of times, starting back in 2018 about the denaturalization push. So I'm glad to see that they're going to be reviewing that. And passport revocation policies and implementing improvements to the naturalization process. And within 180 days, they need to develop a plan on how to do all of that. They need a strategy to promote naturalization according to subsection C here, and they're going to create an interagency working group that promotes naturalization. And remember, naturalization or helping new immigrants get involved in the democratic process and in government and all of that, that's a big part of their theme. So naturalization, hopefully they will cut down on processing times for naturalization and find ways of allowing more voices to be heard in the democratic process. And it sounds like that is a major priority for them because they went into such great detail here about naturalization. So some changes are expected there. And then lastly, they did revoke a specific memo, the presidential memorandum of May 23rd, 2019, which is called Enforcing the Legal Responsibilities of Sponsors of Aliens. That is revoked. And that memorandum, which I did not read in full before tonight, but that memorandum addresses affidavit of support issues and being able to go after sponsors in a very aggressive way if the intended immigrant access public benefits unlawfully and such. So anyway, they've revoked that memorandum. So in summary, friends, those are the three executive orders that President Biden signed tonight. And it's disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It to me, who talk about immigration almost daily, I would have expected a lot more from them. So I'm disappointed, but they've started a process of rolling things back, and that process begins with creating a plan, finding out what the problems are, and then coming up with solutions. So it's going to be a long one. They did say that today in the White House briefing, the press secretary did say there are more things that are going to come around immigration. The process has just started, the reform, all of that has just started. There is more things that the president wants to do, and it is still a priority to him. So that is the position that the White House is holding on to. But it's very exciting to see some of the things that they're going to do around naturalization and hopefully get rid of public charge over the next several months. Guys, I hope you found this information helpful. Be sure to share it with others. Catch me on Monday night on Instagram, and I might be back before you guys before the week is over. Thanks so much for this. And by the way, I see some comments here that are a little bit out there. And so I'm just asking you guys to keep your comments respectful and decent. Let's just be a supportive environment, guys. Don't bash each other in the comments. Let's just keep it very civil, okay? And also, just so you know, YouTube and Instagram are the best places to catch these videos because from time to time I delete them on Facebook because it gets a little crazy. And so, just want to admonish you guys to just keep it civil. It's gonna be okay, guys. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. We just have to be patient and stay plugged in. It's nice to have you on with me tonight, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.